Good morning, dear friends, and thank you very much for coming to this class, Understanding Worldviews. I want to encourage each one of you to continue being part of this new normal. As you could be aware, we are studying online, and the good news is the university has now provided facilities that we can record our work such that we can go back to it over and over and over again. And please take the opportunity, be positive. Many of us are wanting to be negative about everything. That is not going to help at all. In this kind of situation, you just have to be intentional, you just have to be positive and appreciate that this is what is available for us to use. And the earlier we adopt to that, the better, because there are no two ways about it. And by the way, you will find that this is the easiest way for you to study because you'll be at home and the inconveniences that come with renting around the university or in the university is not there. And two, the recordings there, you can listen to the recording anytime. Worldviews. And I want to welcome you to our class of worldviews. And wherever you are, tell your friend to come close so that we can get into worldviews, our thinkings. So, the worldviews. Uganda Christian University. You see, this is one of the distinctive, very important courses that Uganda Christian University has, and that deals with minds because we are people walking. When you see people walking, you see minds walking, you see views walking, you see individuals walking, and it is out of these heads walking that we see ideas are being put in practice. Worldviews. My name is Alfred Monyaka, and I will be the one facilitating this course. And I want to encourage you to be part of the class, listen to this over and over, ask questions whenever you need clarity, and I will be available to answer them. Class representatives, please let's form WhatsApp groups. And on those WhatsApp groups, those who are not in position to be online all the time, they can also raise their questions, and that will be good. That will be good. So today we are starting with worldviews. Worldviews. What exactly is a worldview? Those are some of the things that we'll be dealing with in the course of the day. And at the end of it all, we will appreciate what worldviews are. But let's look at the course description. This course is intended to introduce you, the students, and me, the facilitator, to ideas, paradigms, thoughts, theories, mindsets about the world, how we look at the world. Your thinking is different from mine, but we will have to agree to live in the same environment. And as we do that, then it means ideas are going to meet. And when these ideas meet, these are views that are meeting. Sometimes when ideas meet, we look at that at a later stage. When we are talking about clash of worldviews, what happens when ideas meet? There is rejection sometimes, there is acceptance, accommodation, there is ignorance. You have to accommodate a new, and many things happen. But this course is intended to introduce you to different views, different perspectives, paradigms, thoughts about what other people think. It helps you to analyze the truth from different angles, and we will see what is truth and what is not truth. Truth from different angles. If someone makes a statement, can you identify the truth in it? That in philosophy we call it Pharisees. How to identify a Pharisee? A Pharisee is like Pharisee of a slipperless law, Pharisee or appealing to emotion, appealing to authority. All those are Pharisees. But well, let's deal with first use worldviews first of all. This also helps students to consider how how to make value out of the claims that are being made, relevancy of how the truth in different ideas that are being generated, and offer solutions to some of the problems that arise with that. Form direction, if you may want to put it. It emphasizes the importance and means of forming a Christian worldview. And of course, much as we are dealing with worldviews from different perspectives, our mind should not lose focus of what we are calling the Christian worldview. Like you will see, there are as many worldviews as you see people in the world. Every person you meet has a worldview. And because everybody has a worldview, our intention as Uganda Christian University and our intention as this class is to emphasize how to form a Christian worldview. A Christian worldview. So one of the reasons is why we are doing this worldview is to help you form a Christian worldview. It helps you to analyze and critique information and put importance to this information that you have analyzed. It's a reason why you do this worldview. It also helps you to gain thorough knowledge of working with other people. You know, there are so many conflicts in the world because we cannot appreciate or cannot uh, recognize the importance of other people. You see, every time you meet an individual, know that this individual also has a brain. Please find ways of accommodating other people's ideas. Do not simply shout at them. Or what happens when someone shouts at you because your view does not agree with his or her view? But it also helps you within your profession, making clear judgments, informed judgments, not being like a person who has never been to school. And sometimes people who have been to school are the ones you find making very funny arguments and coming up to an extent of fighting. Fighting is not, it's a war within a worldview. So, what is a worldview? What is a word in the first place? Before we go to the view, worldview, let's deal with the word. A word, of course, when we are describing a word in C, as the local dialects put it, in C, surrounding, what is a word? These are things around us. They can be physical, material. You can touch them depending on how you want to. They can be ideas, spiritual world, like the Africans do think that we have the physical world and the spiritual world. And Mbiti says human is, I mean, the ancestors, those who have gone before us, are intermediaries between the living world and the spiritual world. And sometimes when we dream, we find ourselves in a different world altogether. You connect with different worlds, but we don't want to go to that at the moment. We will deal with that when it comes to dealing with African traditional perspectives, worldviews. We will come to that. The spiritual world. I was just only wanting to emphasize that there is. Then the human world. Human world. We have the cultures, the societies, the family, the relationships. Much as these may not necessarily be touched, but they are felt. It's a society you have formed around yourself. Sometimes the human world is what forms the way we think and the way we do certain things because this influences our actions. This also influences the relationships we do make. The world, when we are talking about the world, we're talking about the cosmos, the universe, the space, the time. We're talking all this is the world. And you see why we find ourselves into all this because we want to understand exactly, appreciate exactly what then informs what we are calling a worldview. So, what is a worldview? What is a worldview? And like I said, we all have experiences. Each one of us has an experience of what reality is. Like we have said, all of us can describe the world for us. And like it is said in the local dialects among the Bagis, where a child sits, I mean, where a child points, that is where he understands that the rain comes from. To that child, that is his view. So we have experiences about reality. But our perspectives about reality is different. Our perspectives about reality is different. We all contemplate on the same questions as we look at the stars, as we look at the stones, as we look at the mountains. And everybody has his own understanding. Then other people will ask, well, who and how did these things come about? Others will say, well, these things came about as a result of God. And is it one God or many gods? How did it, what happens? For example, have you ever asked yourself that when we are living today and someone is dying, for that particular individual, the world has ended. Physical world has ended and he has joined another world. Now, have you ever thought about things we do? Certain people do things as if they are going to stay here forever. And their understanding of the world is that things must be amassed. So what happens when we die? Those are the questions. In fact, I normally ask that question myself. I picture that day when I am dead. Dead and my coffin is there. And I don't know whether you see other people coming to mourn. How I wish I got that opportunity. And I see who is coming to mourn for good reasons or bad reasons. And I was like, oh, you are not a good person to me. Why are you mourning? Oh, then, but one thing that I'm sure of is my boys will cry when I do. The worldview. We are trying to come up with a clear thinking of what the worldview is. We all come up with different answers. You and me have different answers. The world is only an illusion. That is what some people think. So an illusion is, it's imaginary. The earth is held in the sky by God. This reminds me of when I was in primary one, and there were oral questions. So the teacher would go aside and call each one of us. Then they give you oral questions. And one of the questions I still remember up to now is when the old man asked me, "Why are clouds in the sky?" My mind ran very quickly to our church Sunday school teaching. And I said, oh, the clouds are in the sky because they cover God. My understanding that God was in the sky. Later on, when someone told me, oh no, that was wrong. The clouds are in the sky because they bring rain. I said, oh, so is rain held up there? So what happens if the sky is no more? Does it mean we don't have rain again? Different perspectives about same reality. Everyone is controlled by nature, laws, gravity, nuclear forces, rationale, and all these give us an idea. The world emerges from chaos, and our fate is in the hands of the gods. Like we said in theology at first, creation ex nihilo, created out of nothing. We say God said, "Let there be," and we talked about the denial of dualism, and now how can God create from nothing? Is God nothing and things like that? But we will get to that at a later stage. If you want more of that, you come to our theology class. A worldview, a worldview. We can simply say a worldview is the way we perceive the world, our understanding of the world. It is a grid, a sieve in which we allow information about the world to enter, be sorted, be sieved, interpreted, accepted, blocked, or integrated in us. It is a philosophical system, a network of beliefs that help us interpret ourselves and the world around us. A network of beliefs, meaning that a worldview is not in, it does not live in isolation. A network. For example, we're in a network. When we're in a WhatsApp group, we're in a network. And within this WhatsApp group, we influence or we are influenced by the group. or what goes in this group. You may say, oh, I cannot be influenced because I know what I want. Yes, as long as you are seeing those things go into your mind, they are shielded. And because they are shielded, they are sorted. Because they are sorted, they are interpreted. That's why you either block or accommodate them. A worldview. It's a philosophical system, a network of beliefs that help us interpret our souls and the world. Now, someone will say that where you are, it doesn't matter what it is. Where you are is what you are seeing the world view. I want to take you back to what we went through recently, or what we are still going through. This thing called a lockdown. Everybody perceived it in his own understanding, and everybody has an experience of what a lockdown is to him or her. Like for me, if I may give you an example, I had gone to Bali and I was planning to come back, by the way, to give the students a test. On the way to reach Bali, and I am told, oh, you can't go back. Now, where I was is what I understood by what a lockdown is. Everybody, each one of us has an understanding of, or an experience of what a lockdown. And if we are to relate those experiences, we will talk until the kingdom comes. What matters most is how you see yourself. How did you see yourself in the lockdown? Worldview. Worldview. In other words, we are saying, like C.V. Matthews, one of the lecturers of Uganda Christian University, by the way, he went, is I think a bishop in Ezio or something like that. He said, you are your own worldview, or your worldview is you. That means you hold your worldview, and your worldview holds you. What is important in this is the deception that comes with that. Thinking that my worldview is better than any other person's worldview. And when we come to school, we come with our views. And these views will be shaped by others. And because they will be shaped, like we said, we either block, shift, or accommodate. So in other words, who you are, what you do, and why you do what you do, and the way you do it, your very life is the articulation or demonstration of your worldview. And your worldview gives you the rationale for your belief and the practice. So when we are looking at worldviews, we need to look at very important statements here. The articulation, demonstration, the belief system and the practices. How you articulate things, how you demonstrate them, describe very much who you are and what you are and why you do things the way you do them. When we go to your main text, look at this book by Charles Colson, How Now Shall We Live? The Clash of Worlds, David Barnett. Please check those, how to shape a Christian worldview. Because we are living in a multitude of worldviews. You have one duty, the ability to make a choice. And this choice is only made by you. And the choices you make will influence, affect, or direct the kind of life that you live. So, like C.V. Matthews, you are your own worldview. Remember, what influences now our worldview? Number one, personal experiences. Personal experiences. I can define the experience in this state as a test of facts. You have gone there. You have been there. And it doesn't mean that your experience is better than another person's experience. If I put a sweet in my mouth, I am able to tell how the taste is because it is me who has put a sweet in my mouth. And I cannot ask you how a sweet tastes in my mouth. Personal experience, a taste of facts. Remember, this experience can be bad experience. And because you have bad experience, it doesn't mean that everybody should now get bad experience. it could have been out of your choices that you made, the way you went about it. For example, if we are all seated at the table and there is hot pepper, because you mishandle it and put in your eyes, you cannot tell us that because you put in your eyes and started to feel a lot of pain and tears are coming out, therefore, he who has put the hot pepper in his mouth will begin to cry. Not at all. That is your own experience. Experience. What you have gone through shapes your worldview. Number two, the school and the education system. When you come here at school, when you, like you are in this class, my primary objective is to help you unlock your mind or block your mind. Now, the education system, the schools we go through, teach us a certain culture, the way we do things. And that's why many times when people are judging us, someone will say, oh, you are behaving like someone who has never been to school. That means schools are intended to influence our behavior, are intended to shape our behavior, and are intended to form our behavior. So our worldviews are formed in these education systems. There are many different education systems. When you do comparative education and things like that, you'll come to that. But let's focus on worldview. Our parents, our parents. What do we learn from our parents? Our parents. The homes we grow from. The cultures at home. For example, there are homes whereby everybody cooks his own food, his or her own food. And there are homes whereby all of you have to surround on the table, use one plate. The food is hoop, the heap is here, and all you have is one plate. So you break the food, poke it into the plate where there is sauce, and in the mouth there it goes. It reminds me of the experience of the village, whereby if now they put soup in one center, but the meat everybody holds the meat in his own. I don't know why meat is very influential. So some people, when it is at night, someone will blow the candle or throw the candle down, and the next thing you find is the hand is going moving where there is meat, and someone either carries the meat and holds it in the hand until the light is back. That's when you will see meat going back to its own position. Our parents, the home system, the culture at home influences our worldview. The friends, tell me who your friend is, and I will tell you the kind of behavior you are likely to fall into. So when you are forming friends, when you are choosing friends, know that they are either going to influence you or they are going to or you are going to influence them. The two must work. The family system. Of course, friends, family, parents fall under one category. These, whether you like it or not, influence your worldview. We already talked about why worldviews are important. We talked about the critical decision making, understanding, and helping one make meaningful decisions and comparisons we have already talked about. But the most important is where you get these worldviews. What influences your worldviews? What influences your worldviews? Now, the fundamental principles that form this worldview. We have things like our religion, foundations of worldview, our religion. Coupled with those five, the personal experience, school, parents, friends, family. All these are also informed by your religion, your culture, your political setting, or the economic setting. All those inform or shape the decisions that you make as a worldview. Now, if we are to look at a sample of worldviews, if we are to put it in religious perspective, what the belief system, you will find we have the Islamic worldview. There is what we call naturalistic worldview. There is what we call a Hindu worldview. The Taoism, the Judaism, the African traditional worldview. All these shape how personal experience, the school or education system, the parents, the friends, and the family reason or act. So, because we are in the same setting, these influence our actions. We have zeroed them into things like symbols. After this, I am going to show you a clip of how these worldviews interact with one another. Remember, all these things are working in an environment where you are. The decision is they are intending to either influence your thinking. You are going to sort what goes into your mind. You are either going to accommodate it or block it. So let's quickly look at the foundations of worldview. We talked about religion, what you believe, the culture, nationality, ethnicity, the group system, the tribe, Africa, Japanese, Palestinian, English, the Maasai. And all these are categorized under the culture. And you see that culture is our roots, influences our thoughts, it encompasses our language, our dress code, the food we eat, worldview. Then the ideologies that we hold, the ideologies, or our philosophy, like we defined it quite earlier. Philosophy, love of wisdom, and the different branches of philosophy, metaphysics, epistemology, theology, and axiology, value system, the economic and the political system. All these shape how someone reasons and why he or she reasons the way. So I want to invite you to think through this very critically and define for yourself from your own words what is a worldview. You may borrow from this, but also have a mindset of what a worldview is. Number two, what influences your worldview and why? What influences your worldview and why? So I really invite you to this. When it comes to our tutorials, please be there and ask questions. Ask questions, seek clarity, make contributions, and that will be very important for all of us. Thank you very much.